All right, let's move on to some Stranger Things conversation. Let's get into some Netflix conversation here with Stranger Things. This is a new report here. The new report over at Puck News, which I recently subscribed to, indicates that the upcoming fifth and final season of Netflix's supernatural drama Stranger Things, here, let me make this a little bit bigger, looks set to have potentially the biggest budget of any single season of television ever made. We're just talking about how expensive it is to be a filmmaker. It's expensive to make shows. Netflix is reportedly spending between $50 to $60 million per episode for the fifth season, which clocks in at 8 episodes. That brings its total budget to anywhere between $400 million to $480 million for the full run. To put that in comparison, the fourth season cost $30 million per episode, while the original first season of the show clocked in at just $6 million per episode. Amazon holds the record for the most expensive single season of a series with The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, at $58 million per episode, $465 million for the season, and Citadel $50 million per episode. Holy shit. Did not show on the screen. In both cases, they were extenuating circumstances. Millions in costs involving the rights to the franchise were absorbed in Rings of Power, while Citadel underwent a massive overhaul reshoots during production. Okay. In the case of Stranger Things, though, part of the reason for the cost appears to be the episode length. The outlet indicates each of the 8 episodes of the new run will sport feature-length episodes clocking in at 90 to 120 minutes each. Jesus, the first 4 episodes will arrive on November 26th, followed by 3 on December 25th, and the final episode on December 31st. So, Steph, wow. The episodes are 90 to 120 minutes each and costing a crap ton of money here at 50 to 60 million per episode. Your thoughts? Wow.
That is insane. It's insane, but when they did compare it to Rings of Power and Citadel, the Citadel one was the most shocking to me because even though it had 2 alluring, very A-listing type leads in it, and I'm sure Priyanka's numbers are crazy because she's Priyanka. But it said like the reshoots and everything, and I do feel like, and then Rings of Power, which is a show I really actually love, it hasn't, those both didn't really get the views to substantiate that sort of cost yet. With Stranger Things, it is, it's been building out. It has a massive fandom. It was one of Netflix's first biggest shows that got people really into Netflix original content. And the fact that it is movie length episodes. There is more and now all of the actors, I mean, like at least 5 of them are huge.
Yes.
Huge stars. Right. So I'm sure their budgets have all exponentially risen as well each season. It does seem a little bit extra, but it's like it feels like Netflix has the money. I wish they would have kept some of their employees on board and maybe lowered the budgets a little bit, but hey.
Yeah.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. It's Raycon's anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than with a deal on the Everyday Earbuds Classic. They're now 20% off, so it's the perfect time to get your hands on these. Reliable, super comfy, and easy to take anywhere. You're going to see exactly why they have been a fan favorite since day one. The Everyday Earbuds Classics are loaded with upgrades. You got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity, so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and an ergonomic fit that actually stays put no matter what you're doing. Everyday features that live up to the name. You got a quick charge. 10 minutes gives you 90 minutes of playtime, up to 32 hours of battery life with the case. Awareness mode, perfect when I'm going to take the dog out or if I'm on the train. It's amazing. Over 3 million customers already love Raycons, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. So if you don't love them, returns are easy, so you have nothing to lose. I really dig it. As I mentioned, I'm on the train. I got something to listen to. I got these buds. They're so easy. Pop them in my case, and it's just convenient. So go to buyraycon.com/Christian. Get 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic.
Everything comes at a cost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about AI. Well, the more they embrace it, maybe the less human beings they'll be using for certain things. And then the other side is, well, the more they pay out for this content, the more human beings have to be let go so they can balance their budgets out in the end. It's everything has a cost, sadly, in the business and the way it goes down. But I hear you, man. The 60 million per episode is mind blowing. I mean, I'm of a time that I remember when Rome was canceled by HBO because it was costing $3 million per episode, and they couldn't carry the weight of paying $3 million per episode for that series, even though that series is excellent, starring the late great Ray Stevenson. So to hear $60 million and they're just willing to do it is amazing. But it also speaks to the fact that Netflix is a powerhouse now, Steph, and it survived the streaming wars and arguably became even stronger because of the streaming wars when everyone was challenging it for its crown. And now they've got this money to spend on something this massive. My thing is the length of these episodes. I mean, there's 8 episodes that are 90 to 100, that's an hour and a half to 2 hours each episode. That is a lot of a commitment.
Right.
Season, yeah.
So each week that they're doing the 3-episode release will be like a Lord of the Rings movie extended cut. It would be like I mean, that's a lot. And it's true. Like, I feel like I've seen a lot of people in the comments bring up, and I've heard a lot of the criticism that people were obsessed with season 1, you know, it was kind of a game changer. And then 2 and 3 kind of lost them. And then now they've been kind of brought back. But I do wonder where their numbers kind of sit in this final season. And if it being the final season will bring in people. Like, I might have Harry watch all the seasons in anticipation for this because he hasn't seen it. Just because I'm like, it is a final season. It is one of the most talked about shows ever. But to your point of Rome, I'm just thinking of when the news came out in the final season that a few of the top actors, like Emilia Clarke, was gonna be making $1 million per episode in Game of Thrones, the final season, and we were like, "What?" Like, okay, shows have changed the game. Shows are like movies now, if not more. And this is like they're probably making around that, the main cast, it seems like.
Yeah, I would say so for sure. Especially with Millie Bobby Brown, who is very much a Netflix favorite, right? And I don't know about Finn Wolfhard or the other, but I mean, David Harbour has gone on to do a number of things. Winona Ryder is back in demand again. So yeah, I imagine that the
Joseph Quinn now is like a star.
Right. Which there's rumors about him coming back for this season. And so, yeah, there's quite a lot of that going on with these people spinning off to do more things in their lives. So, but yeah, I mean, you talk about the lengths. I'm looking at here. Friend of the show, Ed Harrell, brought up the lengths of the previous season, and he's not 100% correct, but he's kind of correct, saying that last season had kind of like the same length of those shows. The first episode was an hour and 18. The second episode, an hour and 17 minutes. The third episode was only an hour. Only an hour. Then the fourth, an hour and 18. The fifth, an hour and 15. Hour and 15 for episode 6. Hour and 40 minutes for episode 7. Episode 8 was an hour and a half. And then episode 9 was 2 hours and 20 minutes. So an hour and 15 is not an hour and a half consistently or 2 hours consistently. So it is going to be longer, these episodes. And I think because they clearly want to tell a massive story and put everything out there. So we'll see. We'll see what the ramifications are. And I wonder if people will watch in the numbers that they want them to watch. So it'll be curious when it's all said and done. Yeah.
Because I don't think it was as I don't know. I feel like a lot of people talked about last season, but it wasn't like it's because the amount of years in between each season. I'm like, how many people I think people come back, but how many new viewers have they gotten throughout the years?
Right. Because you look at the new shows that come out and they're like, oh, most watched show on Netflix or most watched show on Prime Video. It's like, well, it's the first season. People are curious, right? And it's like we're seeing now with the Jimmy Kimmel ratings. People were curious when he came back for that first week, and now the ratings have gone down again to fit what they were before. So because people were curious. And so it's the same thing with the first season. We'll see how this season does. Will the fact that it's the final season get people to watch it, or are people like, I can't buy these kids as high schoolers anymore, cut it out, these are people they're going to turn it
Millie
off.
Bobby Brown has a whole farm, a husband, and a child. Like, she is queening with her goats.
This is like Grease. They're like 27 years old playing high school. It's not gonna work.